This is the plaintiff, James Papa. He says the defendant's the most evil person he's ever had the displeasure of knowing. She falsely called the cops on him 5 times. She owes him $3,000 he loaned to her. She won't pay him back, and he's suing for it. Here and now. This is the defendant, Alyssa Zenke. She says the plaintiff's been the one harassing her, and she doesn't owe him any money. He loaned the money to her ex-boyfriend, and he's the one the plaintiff should be suing, not her, because she owes nothing. She's accused of not repaying a loan.
All parties, please hit your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Leontel presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Papa, what happened?
I met Alyssa Zenquist about 3 years ago through a friend of mine, and since that, she has done nothing but harass me. I have harassment charges against her. She has an open warrant against her right now. I'm about to file another warrant against her because she's trying to get me evicted from my apartment. Her father has threatened to physically and personally evict me from my apartment because he says I'm harassing her daughter. She has threatened to stab me, cut me deep, and she's not going to stop until I'm in the grave. That's what she says all the time.
How do you two know each other, and how did it get this bad, and what's going on? You two met through a third party who was her boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, is he still her boyfriend?
I don't know.
Okay, is he still your boyfriend? Ms. Zenquist?
No, I haven't spoken to him. We have a child together, but
okay.
He's not
When was the
around.
last time you spoke to him?
It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I spoke to him last.
And he doesn't see the child?
No, he's in James's presence. He knows where he is. I don't.
How do you know he's in James's presence?
Because he's his money person. He gives him his money, Your Honor. That's where he gets his money from. He has nothing without him.
You're talking about your child's father.
Yes, I was under the impression that this relationship was way different than what it really was, and basically I got bamboozled, and now he's trying to sue me to like make it worse.
Okay, let's go back to 2018 and the things that you're suing about. How did it come to pass that you loaned both her ex and her money? How did that happen?
They were in the hotel and they had to pay for it. They needed somebody to pay for it. I went down and paid the bill because they said they would pay me back when they both got jobs and when they had money.
How did you know the boyfriend?
I met him because he was in a nursing home with my niece, who is now deceased.
When
he was in the nursing home also, and he was taking care of my niece.
Taking care of your niece. And
Yes, he was in the nursing home, but helping her with daily needs, wheeling her around, helping feed her. He was very helpful, and that's how I met him.
Okay. And are you still friends with him?
Yes, I am, but he is homeless on the streets. He does not live with me. If he calls me for cigarettes, for food, for a ride to a clinic, I will take him there, Your Honor.
Okay.
But you won't take him to see his son.
Can I ask you, tell me about all this money that you say you loaned. Go through it with me.
All right. I paid for the motel. The motel was $384 a week. I did their wash every day or every other day.
And according to you, you paid for 4 weeks. How many weeks of the motel?
4 weeks.
Okay, go on.
Cigarettes every day, which was a pack and a half a day.
Wait, cigarettes
for the pack of them, 3 packs
cigarettes
of cigarettes
are for people who can pay for housing. Why are you buying them cigarettes? Like, you're suing for $800 in cigarettes. Why just not provide them? Well, you're suing for $420. Her part of the $840. Why not just
thinks this whole
not buy the cigarettes? Like, necessities are necessities. Homelessness is homelessness. They have a baby, but you're keeping them well fed in cigarettes?
Because it was what they wanted every day. They wanted cigarettes and
okay, but I want crack. Are you going to buy me crack every day? I mean, like, that's not a necessity. I mean, when you're helping people out, I understand helping them out for a roof over their head, but buying them $800 and something worth of cigarettes is kind of a luxury. Cigarettes. What else are you suing for? The hotel, the cigarettes.
The food every day.
Food every day?
Yes. I was making food, bringing it up to them. I was taking them out to eat. They were going to Wawa for breakfast. They were going to Wawa for lunch and dinner. I took them out to eat every day.
Okay. Back in 2018, 3 years ago, do you have receipts for that?
I don't have any of the receipts. I was I had a credit card. My credit card was maxed, and now it's in default, and they won't send me any of the records.
Laundry bill, because according to you, what?
I did their laundry for them. I live in Pennsauken and drove to Lawrenceville like every other day with their laundry and everything else they needed. I took her to see her children on supervised visits from Lawrenceville to Trenton. She stopped at Wawa, bought snacks for the children every time she went, Your Honor. Her children were in DIFUS care because she was an addict on drugs and was not allowed to see her children.
So why are you spending all, what is your motivation in pouring money on this couple in particular?
My mother taught me never look down on anybody unless you're giving them a hand up. And that's what I tried to do because they promised to pay me back.
But why is a drug addict? What I don't get is you have a lot of complaints now because you're in court and you say she's the most evil person you ever met. So why in particular this couple? Because of your friendship with her ex and your connection with her ex and the fact that he took care of your niece and...
Yes.
Right. All right. Let me hear your side, Ms. Zenquist. He says you owe him $3,000.
He's never given me anything directly. He made it in the beginning, he would do those things because he wanted me to believe that his relationship with my ex was just platonic. So that he wanted to look like he was his mentor. That's what he uses. That he was just trying to help. But once he realized that I wasn't going anywhere and that it wasn't just a fling thing, that then he started to be malicious. I maybe got some.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was his relationship with your ex platonic or not?
No, ma'am. No.
So they had a physical relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you find that out?
I've seen James has sent me naked photos of my ex.
During the time that you were dating him?
Yes. And he's made it a point to tell me that my ex was gay and that he didn't want to be with me. He has called my children's father to try to get my children taken from me. Like,
when did I want to do something? I want to go back in time. And according to you, the money he's sending you is because he wants your ex in every sense. And when did things go so wrong? Like
they went wrong. It was about 6 or 7 months. My ex went into jail.
Were you pregnant?
No, I wasn't pregnant yet.
So after that, you got pregnant?
Yes, because
your ex went into jail and you find out that he doesn't like, well, maybe he likes both, but both kinds of wine. You find out that and you stay with him and then you get pregnant with him. How'd that work out now?
Yes. Not too good.
All right.
But
so
I learned my lesson and I just want to be left alone.
Okay.
And I'm not with him anymore. He's with him. And he's still attacking me because I have the baby.
So let me understand something. When was the first time that you and the plaintiff didn't get along and why? Like, what was it that happened that made you realize what was...
Okay, in the motel, when we were staying in the motel, it would be times where my ex would say, James is going to give us some money. I'm going to go help him with a few things, but you can't come. You have to stay here. And I had to stay there all day till 8:00 at night by myself because James would not let me get in the car. And after that, it pretty much was the same. I was not allowed in his car. I was not allowed to go.
So
Kyle got money
when did you confront your ex and say, hey, what's going on?
Pretty soon after that. And he denied it. He's in love with me. I just was like arm candy for him. It was nothing like that. And then I didn't find out until my ex went into jail.
What'd your ex go to jail for?
He has different stuff from drug offenses, different things.
Okay. So he goes to jail and he's no longer around. And then how do you find out?
Then James starts contacting me wanting to gossip. Like, because he wasn't around to, get mad at him about telling me. So he figured I'm going to tell her now. So he even came to my house to tell me and speak to me in person about it. And
say what? What did he say?
Oh, he said, we were dating. We've been dating since before you met him. We've been dating.
How old is your ex?
28 or 29, I think.
Okay, go on.
We've been dating and I don't think he's bisexual. I think he's gay because I said maybe he's he has to be if he's with me. And then he sent me the pictures of him. Some of the pictures he was on.
Mr. Papa sends you naked pictures of your ex to prove to you that he's in a relationship with him.
He was unconscious.
Did you do that, Mr. Papa?
I sent her. What I did was, Your Honor, I took pictures of Kyle when he was at my house, so whacked out because he's a drug addict, she's a drug addict, and I was trying to prove to Kyle, this is how far gone you are, and you need to get your act together to become the person that I met originally. As far as a physical relationship, Your Honor, there is none. This is all in Alyssa's mind. The pictures I took were to show how bad he really is. He is now homeless.
Was he naked in them?
Yes.
Did Mr. Papa, according to you, actually tell you I'm in a relationship with him, or you assumed that from the naked?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Papa actually has a restraining order on Kyle that states in the restraining order that they were in a dating relationship and my ex had domestic violence, that he had hit him and that he had taken money from him.
Mr. Papa, did you file a restraining order and within the facts of the restraining order swear that in fact you were in a relationship with the person you just denied to me under oath that you were in a relationship with?
There is no relationship, Your Honor.
That isn't my question. My question was, did you apply for a restraining order and say that you were in a relationship?
There is no restraining order. It's a no contact order.
Yes, there is.
Did you apply for a no contact order and say
yes, I did.
And in the facts you said I'm in a relationship with him?
I said I was.
Okay, but you just told me there was never a relationship, but you swore to another judge that there was.
No, it's not a sexual relationship. It's a friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, Your Honor.
Okay. Why aren't you suing Kyle?
No, Kyle, I have a notarization from Kyle in the amount of $18,000, and Alyssa knows about that because she saw that statement. He agreed to pay his half.
A promissory note in the amount of how much?
$18,000.
Why $18,000?
Because that's what I've lent Kyle over the course of I don't know how long.
Were there any strings attached?
No. What do you mean strings attached, Your Honor?
I think we both know what I mean. But my question to you is, what evidence do you have that Ms. Zenquist, if you have this lengthy history of $18,000 worth of money going your way towards the 27-year-old, can you tell me what evidence do you have that Ms. Zenquist obligated herself to pay any of those debts?
She told me when she was in the motel that she was going to get a job across the street from the hotel. She was going to get the money from her father. She was going to give me money out of the money that her ex, the father of her children, would send her out of support. This is a promissory that she made me, Your Honor.
Other than you say, watch this, did you promise you'd pay back this money?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so right now, so it's your word against hers. So now my question is, do you have anything to prove it's your way and not her way? Because I have to be careful that you're not just saying this, not because she obligated herself, but because now you guys have dueling restraining orders and dueling police calls, and it's gotten into this nasty thing, and you're still close to the ex, but not to her, and then she and the ex have a custody issue. I gotta make sure it's not for other reasons. I gotta make sure that the reason you're suing her is because she actually owes you the money. So in my quest to see if that's true, all I'm asking for is, do you have a text, do you have an email, do you have a promissory note, anything where she obligates herself to pay stuff?
Honor, at this point, no, because I can't pull it up on the phone because it's somehow deleted on my phone.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Zenquist, let me ask you this. What has he done to you?
He's called my children's father to tell him to keep my kids from me. He has the reason my father contacted him was because my father was trying to mediate and was like, please leave my daughter alone. But since then, he's filed this lawsuit, this suing thing for me. Since then, we agreed to leave each other alone. I left him alone. Then he did this. And then recently, just the other day, he showed up to my apartment building, went to the office, and told them that I'm living here with my mom to try to get me and my children thrown out. And which I'm not, because they know I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. And then he called the police in front of the lady in the office. And he was like, help, someone's hitting me. And she was like, nobody's around you. And she actually called the police back and said, don't come out here. This guy's lying.
Did you want to respond to that, Mr. Papa?
I absolutely do. I went to her apartment building, Your Honor, because she called my building trying to get me evicted. I've been there 15 years. I have never had one complaint, not one neighbor complaint, tenant complaint against me until Alyssa started calling the cops. The cops actually came to my house with the search dogs because she said I'm selling drugs and I'm bringing homeless men into my house and having sex.
Okay, Mr. Papa.
She thinks this is a joke, Your Honor. She thinks
Stop dealing with Kyle.
She's a drug addict. She's a drug addict, Your Honor, and doesn't deserve to have her children.
What happened to what happened to my mother taught me not to look down unless I'm helping up. What happened to that part?
I believe that, Your Honor.
You do still believe that.
I still believe that. But when somebody beats you with a stick,
all right, guys, we're done. Now is the part where neither one of you speak again. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Papa, I do not find that you have sufficiently proven to me that the defendant is obligated to pay back all of this, money that you have been pouring in a 27-year-old's lap for I don't know how long. I don't find that you have any scintilla of proof that she is supposed to pay that back as opposed to him. You don't have any evidence of any of the food, the receipts, all these other things that you're talking about that you spent, but more importantly, no evidence of the fact that she's obligated to pay them. I'm finding in favor of the defendant in this case.
I respect your decision. Thank you. Goodbye.
So the plaintiff, obviously upset, has just departed the proceedings here. Let me talk to Ms. Enquist, the defendant. He made a lot of charges against you, Ms. Enquist. How do you feel about that?
I've been dealing with this for a long time. I don't really feel anything at all because it's just not true, and God doesn't like ugly. So that's why what happened here happened.
Let me ask you about, do you think this is going to end, this problem you've been having with him? I mean, you did win. You don't owe him the money.
It's over on my part. I have nothing to say to him, but I don't think he's going to stop harassing me. No. Yeah, because he didn't win. Now he's mad.
Well, look, congratulations. You prevailed in this lawsuit. Let's hope your problems don't get any worse, at least. All right, thank you very much, and that'll wrap it up for this case. Okay. Harvey?
Well, Doug, we've talked about this before, but it's so easy to avoid a lawsuit when you write out and spell out exactly what the deal is. Who owes who what, when it's due. Do it in a text. Do it in an email. You don't even need a formal contract. But if you don't do it, welcome to the People's Court.
What advice would you give parents raising children in society today?
Be on it. Be on it.
Don't ever turn your back on
Don't you? No. Right. Be on it. You are a spy in your own house. I believe, I always told my children, you are being raised by the golden rule. She who makes the gold makes the rules.
Hey, what about he who makes the gold?
Well, I'm the one. I'm the one disciplining them. Let's face it. Your parenting theory is I'm a coming girl.
Yeah,
okay, so but their phones are my phones. They are not their phones.
They know there's no Fourth Amendment.
There's no Fourth Amendment. There's no right to privacy in my house. Be on it. Read it. I don't care how many people send me an email now. I do not care. You can send me all the emails you want about respecting their privacy. No, that is an earned right as they get older, and you can trust them.
Right.
And it's not just trust them. You know, it's trust everyone around them and the influence everyone around them is going to have on them. That way you can catch the cancer before it metastasizes, you see?
Right.
So if you learn when a child is young because you are on it, you are, you look at the phone every blue moon, or you are listening to the conversations, then you might be able to stop a drug problem before it takes over. You might be able to. Sometimes it could be out of your control.
Right.
But, you had a case where a 14-year-old killed another 14-year-old. And if the mother had even looked in that backpack,
and seen his diary.
Yeah. And I know that people think, well, that's a terrible, I don't care what you think. I'm opening it up. I'm going to read it. I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to be on it. Until, I'm talking about when in these formative years where everything can go wrong.
Right.
Be on it.
Yeah.